Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Doomsday, Clerk, and I'm Terry Gant, and we're here at Third Coast Comics at 6443 North Sheridan Rd in Chicago, and I'm going to give you like a heads up on some things that you ought to be reading, some things that have come out recently in comics. Some of it's newer, some of it's not so new, but some really surprising things have happened, and there's some things that I think are really good that I think you might check out. You can get them from my shop, get them from any shop near you. I don't really care which, but maybe these are things that you ought to be up on. I like them, so I'm going to suggest them to you. The first thing I'm going to grab for you is, a couple years ago, DC did an event called Event Leviathan, written by Brian Michael Bendis, drawn by Alex Malev, and it was sort of like a espionage comic in which the greatest detectives in the DC universe have to kind of unravel this mystery of who's really taking down all these sort of espionage groups within the DC universe. Well, it turns out they figure out who that is, and it was a great book, but coming out of it is DC has a new comic out called Checkmate. Right? And Checkmate is the kind of premier espionage agency within the DC universe. This book, Checkmate's gonna use Manhunter, Mr. Bones, Lois Lane, it looks like Hannibal King, The Question, Green Arrow. Like, all these characters are coming together to work for Checkmate. Checkmate books have happened in the past, written by Greg Rucka, and they were awesome. There's like 2 volumes that you might still be able to find. So I'm very happy that Checkmate is back. It's been one of DC's like really good spy books for like a long time, whenever it happens, you know. So I would say just jump on it if you happen to see it. So some time ago, I think I might have mentioned that there was Deceased, which is kind of like a zombie virus horror thing that ran through the DC universe, and its own like kind of standalone kind of area of the multiverse. It's not really mainline DCU, and it's very not mainline DCU if you see the things that once you see the things that happen to Deceased. But I think I covered that. But there was an addendum to it, like a follow-up to it called Deceased the Unkillables, which are like kind of what the Suicide Squad type of characters are doing, or how they're dealing with the new zombie apocalypse that struck the DC universe. And it's got like, you know, Deathstroke and Lady Shiva and Captain Cold and Cheetah, Bane, Solomon Grundy. Like this, every time I see one of these Deceased books, I read it because Tom Taylor is a terrific writer and he's just killing it with this whole line. I'm not super into zombies really, but the way DC's handling it with the way the zombie virus works, it's entirely different than what you've seen before. And I would say go ahead and grab that. You shouldn't be disappointed by it. All right, kind of an old school pick for me. There was a book that happened in the 90s called Scud the Disposable Assassin. It even got like an animated series sometime like maybe mid to late 90s. And it was hilarious. It is back. They've collected it again. It's been from Image Comics. Image Comics has done another collection of it. I hadn't seen a collection of this in years. I'm glad it's back. Rob Schrab is, I don't know, this might have been, I haven't seen a lot from him other than Scud, but I'm kind of glad Scud keeps coming back. It basically is, the idea is that there's a vending machine where you can go to if you just want to take somebody out, somebody's done you wrong, you want to get back at them, you need them taken out, you go to the vending machine, you put in your money, you order yourself up an assassin. You send the assassin after the person that you want. You just tell the assassin, the robot, the person's name, and the robot from the vending machine that is an assassin goes out to kill the person that needs to be killed. And then blows up, right? And it's done, right? There's no trail, right? The robot's blown itself up. The problem with Scud is Scud becomes very aware that he's disposable here. He's entirely like superfluous. Once he kills the person he's supposed to kill, he's going to explode. So what he does is he gets to the person he's supposed to kill. He finds this target and he beats the target within an inch of its life, and then puts the target on life support to keep the target alive. If the target ever dies, Scud explodes. So Scud now is an assassin for hire, taking on other jobs to be able to afford life support for the first target. It's hilarious. It's great. My friends are always quoting things from this series. And it's one book, well, at this point it's one book, one very thick book that runs about $35, and it's worth every penny. I'd say grab it. A couple of months ago, Marvel got the license to the Alien franchise, and they did a really good book with it. It's not collected just yet, and I'm not really going to put you up on the trade till it's out, right? But I will tell you there's a one-shot that has followed it up that is for the Aliens section of it, like the best of the Alien franchise, like the second movie. And it's about Benjamin Piercy, who doesn't really do bad. Like, he does really good stuff. So if you're a fan of the Alien franchise, and before that trade paperback comes out, just run out and get this one shot. It's only one issue. It's not going to be like 6 for you to follow and chase down or anything. It's called Aliens Aftermath, and I would say if you like the franchise, and you should like the franchise, why shouldn't you go and get in on that? Like, do it now. If you're a Justice League fan and you like the Dwayne McDuffie era JLU animated series, there is now a Justice League comic that is basically set in that universe, right? And it's called Justice League Infinity. And I would say, like, it's taken a while to get us to this point where we're actually getting back to that universe, which was just so popular. But, you know, while you have it, why not go out and grab it, right? Jump in on that. It's only like $4, like most of the DC things. It's not costing you an extra $2 or anything. And it's harkening back to an era of the JL, the Justice League, that was just really popular and really well received. And there's a veteran writer on it, like J.M. DeMatteis is on it. So, like, I would say, yeah, like, get out there and get it if you're a Justice League fan. Using more, with DC leaning harder into the word infinite lately, there's Infinite Frontier, and I might have covered the first issue in a previous episode, but the second issue is also out. The second issue, honestly, like, really made me even more excited for the series with the characters that we're getting here. Like, we're already getting President Superman, and we're getting like different versions of Roy Harper, like Black Lantern Roy Harper. We're getting Alan Scott and Obsidian. We're getting Cameron Chase again, but we're also like seeing the Justice League from the point of view of Cameron Chase and the DEO, which is not really taking it in from the sense of the things the Justice League are trying to do to keep the multiverse safe, but how it is the rest of the world is seeing the Justice League while they do it. So it's a twist on it, and it's by Joshua Williamson, who did the Rebirth era of The Flash for like several volumes that were just amazing. And I would say if you get a chance to get anything by Joshua Williamson, just go ahead and get that done. All right, switching gears a bit from sort of the indie like weirdness and the sort of DC superhero and the Marvel alien situation, I've got a book by Sarah Beacon and Hugh Amano called Let's Make Dumplings. Is it really a hard shift in gears, right? It is literally an amazing cartoonist, Sarah Beacon, like throwing down like sort of everything you need to know if you're into dumplings. All kinds of dumplings, any kind of dumplings. Like, it doesn't matter what sort of dumplings. Sarah Beacon is like the queen of dumplings, dumpling genius. And if you're in the Chicago area and it matters to you that you're like supporting local, Sarah Beacon is also local. Sarah Beacon, friend of the program and lover of fine food, and probably the best at illustrating anything in your kitchen that I've ever, like, just, I want to actually attempt to cook things when I see Sarah Beacon drawing things in a kitchen. I don't really normally want to cook all the things, but Sarah Beacon makes you want to go and do that. Sarah Beacon, Hugh Amano, Let's Make Dumplings, a comic book cookbook. I would say grab this wherever you can, particularly here at Third Coast Comics at 6443 North Sheridan Road, but at any other comic shop if you happen to find it. And this might even be in other bookstores too, not just in comic shops, because she has an actual publisher. She's not like going out there making Image Comics have to do cookbooks, which they should, but she's not trying to make that happen. She's doing her own thing. Sarah Beacon killing the business of comic books and cookbooks. There you go. Thanks for watching another episode of Doomsday Clerk. And because I have to say it, smash like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you later.